taking the time to meet with me today. My name is Andrew Milburn. I'm a student currently taking Sports Psychology 272. The purpose of this interview is to learn more about the cognitive and mental strategies athletes use to prepare for competition, manage stress, and stay focused. During this interview, I'll be asking you questions related to topics such as motivation, confidence, uh, goal setting, concentration, and stress management. The interview should take about 20 minutes. So getting into it, can you tell me about your background in the sport and how long you've been competing?
I've been competing for 11 years now. Um, I started when I was 10. Yeah, I started playing baseball when I was 10. Um, and now I'm currently a Division two athlete at West Virginia Wesleyan College. Um, I'm a catcher now. I was a pitcher, third baseman, first baseman, shortstop, pretty much all of the above when I was growing up. But now I'm kind of refined down to catching. Um, yeah.
How do you prepare mentally before a game?
uh, Now it's more along the lines of like scouting the other team, figuring out or scouting other team hitters, and like figuring out where the holes are in their swing. What counts they predominantly swing on, and like do they see trends in pitches? Like have other teams try going like fastball up and in, and he's starting to hit it. Okay, great. We're gonna go curveball. We're gonna up one over the plate. Changes eye level, stuff like that. That's how I mentally prepare like before a game is then also remembering and writing everything down, getting about pictures, stuff like that. And like while I'm stretching, I sit and I listen to music while I'm stretching. Because stretching routine is about 20 minutes or so. So um, that's like I guess how I mentally prepare. I just try to get myself in a what's a good way to put this?
Kind of like a flow state or something like that, or not like
If you
just
want to call me pissed off at the other team,
yeah.
cognitive fluid state, then yeah, I guess.
Oh, that's a way. Um, how do you stay focused during a competition, especially when distractions are present?
I embrace distractions. Like growing up, when I was catching my mom and the other moms and the dads on the team would all sit behind the plate and travel ball and, like little league the backstops only like 10 feet. So like they were and like sometimes even shorter. So sometimes they felt like they were really on top of you. So like I've kind of learned to like engage with it and mess around with it, but like
Mm-hmm.
also like I'm mentally strong enough to like not let that affect me. Um, in the sense of like I understand I'm here for a reason. I'm not here to cackle.
Right.
You know, I get that opportunity when I have kids, but
Mm-hmm.
while I'm on the balcony, behind the plate, wherever, that's like especially on college. Like you go to the away games, people, dudes bring their girlfriends. They have some of the other guys come up and they shit talk behind the plate and everything, and I embrace it. I give it right back to them. I
Yeah.
have no qualms about that. But I also know when it's like time to shut up and focus, I can shut up and focus.
Right.
I can turn that dial.
You can kind
I
of
think of
down.
it more
Yeah.
like a switch as a like just like oh you have to turn it on, you got to turn the switch on, whatever. I don't like thinking of it like that. I like thinking of it as dials.
Mm-hmm.
That no matter what, you're always on. It's just what level are you on
Right.
while you're competing? Because obviously, if it's like you're up 10 runs in the sixth inning, then you're like,
You're a little
I mean,
loose. You're free. Yeah.
yeah, you're a little more free, but like obviously you're in the bottom of the ninth, runners on second, no outs. Like you got to realize like okay, they're probably gonna suicide to try to get that runner to third, and then if and then that's like obviously it's knowing the situation and tuning yourself to that situation. That's the way I think of it now.
Yeah. Um, how do you control your energy levels to help with you being nervous or keep you relaxed?
I always try to eat right before a game, so that generally helps with my energy level. I always try to eat salmon, rice, and asparagus, and a bunch of water for games that for slow burning carbs, so it doesn't I don't get like a spike right as the game starts and as the game gets on. Like obviously I'll get more tired as the game gets on.
Mm.
But if you have like something really sugary or there's other stuff like if you have like fast food, like a lot of my teammates like just they'll get like McDonald's. That stuff gives you like sure it gives you a spike right at the beginning of the game, but at the end of the game you're dragging more than you should be. Like generally at the end of the game, especially in college baseball, you just like when you need your players the most and the
Mm.
diamonds perform, you can't be having them like crashing because they like hit the wall or anything. I mean, obviously, we go into extra innings. We're playing a 15, 16, 17 inning game.
Mm.
That's a little bit different story because like I try to base like when I eat and how much I eat based off the length of the game. So if we're playing like a doubleheader and I know I'm going to be catching the first game but DHing the second game, I will eat like it's a normal 7 inning game. If we are playing like a midweek 9 inning game, I try to eat right before I warm up with my pitcher.
Mm.
Like I go stretch and everything, and I'll do my long toss and everything, and then I try to eat right then to try to make sure that the carbs are burning throughout the entire game, not
Mm.
just like not that way. If I hit my wall at the 6 inning, I still got 3 more innings behind the plate. I gotta go. So it's all about timing, and it's taken me a few years to fine tune out, but I'm starting to figure it out.
Yeah. It's interesting to see how you did it as a freshman up to now at this point, to see how that's changed.
I was a freshman eating McDonald's and KFC before games.
Exactly. To see where you are
Uh,
now. Um, really, how much that process has changed. Um,
yeah.
do you use any form of imagery or Oh my gosh, visualization? If so, how does it affect your performance?
Um, if you're talking more like meditating, I have teammates that do that. I don't. Um, if we're talking about like thinking of the if then that's my entire job behind the plate.
Mm.
I'm the quarterback of the field. I'm the only one on the entire diamond that can see everybody. So I always have to be thinking if then that. Okay, this guy hits the ball to the right side, so towards second base, the second baseman. Like I had to go back up to third or first, but obviously I can't over pursue that because where that throw angle is going to be coming in different as throwing would have been coming in from third base. You know, so it's
Yeah.
like that's no runner on. If there's a runner on first, he's quick. He's known to steal. He's known to steal on a second pitch. If he doesn't go on the second pitch, he's going on the third pitch, but it's a delayed steal.
Mm.
Like if and then that. Like obviously, I have to get my frame right, but then also in the frame, I have to make sure my feet's moving right, and then that's my whole job.
Mm.
Obviously, my whole call, like first and third situations, I have to make the call, step out, and I have to think, okay, if this happens, what happens then? Where do I direct my fielder, stuff like that. So if that's the visualization you're talking about, yes, I have to do that. That's a whole catcher's job.
Yeah.
If you're talking about meditation and like trying to like match your like energy level or something or your vibe, whatever the hell it's called. I don't subscribe to that. I think it's a bunch of horse crap. But
Um, how do you set goals for yourself during a season or before a competition?
before a season, I do my best to set a goal that's realistic. So like last season, my goal was to hit 350. Uh, I don't really care about on base percentage. I don't care about slugging, OPS, all that crap. I care about getting on base. And because obviously, if I'm hitting 315, the doubles, the triples, the home runs, they're going to come because I'm putting the ball in play a lot. I'm finding gaps. Uh, I also try to keep my goals to what I can control. That's why, like behind the plate, my goal is always training stuff. How many pitches can I steal? Because that is not dependent on someone else. That's solely dependent on how quick my arm moves, how quick I can move my glove.
Right.
Hitting, same thing. It's like that's not dependent on someone else. So if I put like an RBI goal out, that's dependent on my teammates getting on base. I hope they do. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like that's out of my control. So if I come up, I say, okay, I want to get 65 RBIs this year, and I end up with 60. Well, those 5 other RBIs might have happened if there was always a runner on base when I was hitting.
Mm-hmm.
But when I lead off an inning, I'm not always going to hit a home run when I lead off an inning. So it's like controlling what I can control in the goals, and then obviously I'll create more lofty goals. Like, okay, I want to hit X amount of home runs. I can control that.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously, like behind the plate, I'm like, I want to throw out a certain percentage of runners. Last year it was around 90. That's like top clip. Throwing people out is not really in your control as much as people think. How well is the first baseman holding on? How well does the pitcher hold runners on? How long is the pitcher's delivery? It's like on going pitch counts. That's when the runner's more time they're going to go. When the batter is even or below the count. Like if I decide if it's a 1-2 pitch, or it's a 1-2 count, I call it slider. Obviously, I'm going to be at a disadvantage if it's coming from a right-handed hitter because the ball's going this way. I'm going to have to move my glove this way and then awkwardly get a throw off. And the ball's not coming as fast as it normally would. So there's a timing issue to it. So there's a lot. Throwing runners out isn't as solely dependent on how good the catcher is at throwing runners out. Because I don't mean to sound cocky, but I can throw it out, and when you give me time, there's basically no one in the Northeast that can beat me.
Yeah.
But my pitchers suck at holding runners on, and they like to do their whole leg kicks. So that's how I set goals. I try to keep them within things I can control, and then things I can't control, those are my more lofty goals. If I don't hit them, it's whatever. But then at the end of the year, when I reflect on it, it's okay, did I regress throwing runners out? Is this a me issue or is it an external issue? If it's an external issue,
right.
Tough luck.
Yeah.
But I hit 307 last year. I needed an extra 8 points on my batting average to hit my goal. I need to do better. Mm-hmm. I can't blame myself for that.
Yeah.
That's how I said it.
What motivates you to keep pushing yourself when training or competing gets difficult?
It's to prove people wrong at home. I've had a lot of people in my life tell me that I can't do this. I had a lot of people tell me I couldn't even make it to a high school baseball team, let alone make it to a college team. So it's to prove people wrong back home, and then also now it's doing it for myself more. I've matured out of an angsty, needing an angst to do it. Mm-hmm. I've matured of knowing I love this game. I only have a few years left of it probably because I doubt I'm going to go to the pros for this. Mm-hmm. If I do, great. If I, but if I pros, I probably won't. So I'm I'm on a clock of the game I grew up playing, the game I love. Mm-hmm. So let these last few years be truly for me, not for anyone else.
Now, does that clock make you want to, obviously makes you want to do better, makes you push yourself, makes you soak in all the last years that you have?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, 1,000%.
How do you handle mistakes during competition without letting them affect your confidence?
Well, this isn't a response that's going to be very well for your class, but when I mess up, I use not very kind words to myself. I am known as a little bit of a crazy person behind the plate. Because if I don't throw a runner out and it was completely my fault, I just yanked the throw, I'm sitting back there cussing myself out.
Yeah.
And I'll hit on my thigh. So that's how I do it. But as soon as I go to make the next call for pitching, I'm back in it. I tell myself, I cuss myself out. It's and then I'm you got to do better. And you're go do better. Mm-hmm. I hate the excuse part of it all. I like taking accountability for when I mess up. Mm-hmm. Going back to controlling what I can control. If I can control something and I mess it up, I'm pissed off at myself, not anyone else. So, but then I also, same thing, I have that dial. I get super cranked up, and I think sometimes I need a mess up in a game to keep me focused.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes I just kind of like start going through the motions, and if it's been like 5, 6, 7 games where like I haven't like messed up or throwing out a runner, um or like my frame has been really good, and I like there's a slider outside corner. I think I got it, and it just pops out my glove.
Mm-hmm. It
Um,
forces you. It kind of like forces you to make every little minute motion.
yeah,
Yeah, every little detail.
it's. I mean, obviously, like I mean, no matter how focused you get, you're always going to have like you're going to start deviating at some point. Like this happens no matter what you're in, whether you're in
Mm-hmm.
law enforcement, just a job. Like you can be the best person in your job, but you're going to deviate at some point, and like
Mm-hmm.
you need someone to kind of give you that like kickback. I think in baseball, that's not someone, that's just me messing up. That's how I use it as.
Yeah. How does feedback from your coach impact your confidence or motivation?
I used to be super angsty about feedback from my coach, or coaches, because I just thought, because I had such bad coaches growing up, I always thought they were out to try to mess me up. Now in college, I finally like realized like this guy gets paid like a lot of money to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he would try to steer one of his starters wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when it's
So
trying to.
it's
Yeah.
kind of it's breaking off of my old mindset, and I finally started to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because growing up, my coaches were I'm not exaggerating, like they were trying to intentionally mess me up because they just didn't like me. So it's been a long road of like trusting coaches,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, but now I take it as like real feedback, and I sit there and like I film myself all the time, um, to figure out what I'm doing, and then based off what they say, and then I watch the video, and I evaluate myself, and I take their critiques and apply it to this. So, like, am I doing this, or is that a benefit of, or is that a deficiency of not, like, obviously we can't see in slow mo with our eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that just something they're seeing because it's full speed, whatever, and like the swing per se? But then I slow it down. It's like, oh, I'm actually doing it right, but it just looks like that in full speed, just because like obviously body parts move in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like whatever you're swinging at bat, like as aggressively as like college players do. That's happened a few times. Um, because like there's an old adage like pitching. Uh, you're supposed to like bring your leg up, and you're supposed to be balanced to the top of your leg lifts. That came from people just visually seeing stuff and not in like real speed from the pros. They think they're bringing their leg up to the top, they're stopping, and
Mm-hmm.
then they fall down.
Yeah.
Really, what you need to do, and if you slow it down, any pitcher in the major leagues is worth their while. They bring their leg up, but their butt is starting to move forward towards the plate to gain momentum. So that's an old adage that like comes from people just seeing stuff with their eyes and not being able to slow it down. But now that we have all this technology, you can slow it down. You have like the kinesiology of like you can put like the blue things on us to like see exactly how your body moves and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It helps a lot with like alleviating that, but obviously we're just a small Division 2 school. I'm sure WU has all that stuff up there for you,
Most
but
likely.
us down here, our little private school with less than 1,000 kids on campus, we don't have that. So
um, have you noticed the changes in your mindset or mental strategies as you've gained more experience?
1,000%, I've matured a lot. Uh, like I said, I stopped taking critiques and criticisms as like someone's always out to get me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and my mindset used to be, like I said, I was always trying to prove people wrong, and now I'm doing it for myself finally. And that's allowed myself to be a lot more free.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think it's just like a maturity thing. Um, and obviously, I mean, I'm 21 now. Like I'm no longer a 14-year-old kid who thinks like everything got to get him. So
Yeah.
it's I don't know if I have like an exact example for it, but I know it's changed. And like if you could just plug into my brain and like see what I'm trying to like think of. Like you would understand exactly what I'm saying, but like I just can't formulate the word right now.
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say. Um, how do you mentally recover after a poor performance or loss?
I go work on it. What did I mess up? Did I mess up catching today? Okay, guess what? I'm gonna go spend 2 hours on the hack attack with it's throwing balls 90 miles an hour at me, and I force myself to do stuff right. I don't wear a cup. I don't wear a chest plate. I don't wear a helmet. Well, sometimes I wear a helmet, but I don't wear a cup. I don't wear a chest plate. I only wear my legs and my helmet. My helmet every once in a while. Depends how like tired I am. Because you know what? If I miss a ball, my kids are at jeopardy. My heart's at jeopardy. It forces me to do it right. So I think like, so it's that if it's like hitting, I'm gonna go spend 2 hours, 3 hours in the cage. I don't like. I take this adage from dating, like never go to sleep, pissed off or in an argument with your like significant other. I
Mm-hmm.
take that over to competition, where it's like, don't go to sleep upset at what you did today.
Yeah.
Go make yourself feel decent about what you did, even if it might not be in competition, even if it's just off a machine or just off front toss or whatever. Like, go make sure you don't go to sleep pissed off with yourself because then you'll wake up pissed off
Mm-hmm.
and it just ruins your day from the jump.
Yeah, exactly.
So I know
Um,
that's a weird bringing over like a dating adage over into competition, but
that's fine. I mean, it's a good way to bring it over and connect it. What advice would you give to other athletes about improving their mental game?
don't make excuses. I see a lot of kids now that they just like to make excuses for why they didn't do stuff. Like obviously, if it's like outside of your control, then it's outside of your control. But then don't like go run to your mommy and say, "Oh, like just da, 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 da." No, like you need to take accountability for what you do. You mess up, you mess up. It's not the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
The world's not going to end because you messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Uh, but you need to take accountability for stuff and realize that it is a game and you need to have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
Until people's money is legitimately on the line, which is college, it's a game.
Mm-hmm.
Treat it as such.
Yeah.
I did not treat it as such in high school, and I had such a miserable time in high school. Just go have fun, make friends.
That's what it's
My
all about.
brother, well, not my brother, my best friend, who was basically a brother, we're just not blood, came because we had fun playing baseball and Little League, and we developed that connection before things just like really hit the crap in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still brothers. Like hell, we're planning a trip over the summer to go golf in Texas because neither of us have been to like Texas. Like I've only been to Amarillo. He's never been to Texas in general. I've only been in the Northern Panhandle. We're planning a trip to go to Dallas Fort Worth
Mm-hmm.
over the summer. Like build those kind of connections where like even though he's 3 years removed from baseball, I'm on a clock for baseball in college.
Mm-hmm.
You still have that, and then like your lifelong buddies and brothers, and that's where you can find that stuff in your competition sport, or even if it is golf or tennis, where it's more of an individualized sport. Find someone you can go practice with, because I promise you, the connections and the bonds you make in competition go so much farther than your sport, and it's so beneficial to you to have those connections. You never know when you need to rely on them.
That is very true. Um, that is my last question. Thank you for participating in this interview, and thank you for your answers and honesty. Um, thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
Yep. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.